Clara, Royal Suite. A performance at the Palladium was interrupted by Alex's Daily, a minotaur who was in his cups as well as in the chips. After a heart-to-heart in the Velvet Rose, you relieve him of his winnings, only to lose the money after getting bushwhacked by Molly's chief goon, Jimmy. Just before dawn, Yves gave you his take of the killer's latest victim. Uh, with their clientele including Tanner Cunningham of seemingly bottomless pockets, you can well afford the monthly. Oh, we must be back at home. Well, our hotel. Nothing like a good rest after a night of disappointment. Mr. Chalmé Duval's promised missive seems to have arrived. Did Sorry slip the letter beneath my door, or perhaps one of Yves' mystery colleagues is to blame? No point putting it off, I suppose. Miss Clara Reed, please hasten to the Velvet Rose at your first earliest convenience. It is with deepest regards and condolences that I must inform you of the passing of one Ariana Luttrell, something after midnight last evening. Signs indicate that the death is connected to the work of the courtesan killer. Respectfully, I would urge you to consider what we spoke of last night. My employers greatly desire your presence at the Rose, as well as your assistance inspecting the body. Please do not delay. My sympathies for the loss of your peers. Yours, Yves Chalamont Duval. The passing of Ariane Luttrell, God's... Ariana, God's wombs. I spoke to her just last evening. The frigid bastards. I need no reminder of my situation. I'll make my way to the Rose, then I'm embroidered in this whether I like it or not. What do... Bacon? The black cat from Sawyer Square launches around in your suite as though she's always been there. Bacon? How did you even get in here? Find your way here. Getting the cat hair off the furniture is going to be a nightmare. I have a cat now. Look at this cute little face. Pet her. What a good cat. Who belongs right on a sandwich with tomatoes, and I should really find a snack. But I have bacon right here. I'm really not planning on eating a cat, as cute as he is. Floral arrangement. The petals are browning at the edge. He said, for a poster bed, dressing table. This mirror's intricate gold inlays will make a maid dusty and want to expire. That said, the low table is perfect for preparing for a night out or a day about London. Observe yourself. It frames me quite nicely. Straighten the back, elongate the neck. Good posture is the foremost. My brisk fan is here. Should I practice my fan? Sure. The white silk fan unfurls with the flourish of the wrist. I caught a fan in my left hand while daintily fanning my face. I desire to make her acquaintance, the fan says. Fan open it quickly, snap it closed again. Bastards. Fan tap my left ear with the tip. I wish to be rid of you. Close the fan and draw it slowly down my right cheek. I love you. Hiding my face. We are being watched. All finished. Tarot deck. The hangman stares up at me. Life isn't foreboding, but it's not always a bad sign, is it? leave to the lobby. On the outside, the bell. Wait, it doesn't say anything that's updated. No, it doesn't. What's Iron Bear doing here? It's rare to see him without Tinner nearby. Greet him. Iron Bear, good morning. What brings you here today? I thought Tinner didn't require my service until this evening. That is correct. However, with the evening or the night previous, Cunningham thought my services as a bodyguard might be more useful elsewhere. Okay, Ed. Has word spread so quickly? It's London. Of course it has. Tinner can't be overbearing. I'm lucky this is all he did. Convince him you don't need a minder. Ooh, cool. While I appreciate your concern, I must stress the evening of last night. I should stress that the events of last night shall not be repeated. Please convey my greetings to Tinner and assure him that I will see him this. I don't know how I feel about that. It's good to see you're well. He's not leaving. Did Tinner require that you remain glued to my side? He failed to specify. Well, in that case, I have things I must do today, and I'm certain you will do as well. Cunningham is concerned for your well-being. If I didn't know any better, I'll say he included himself in that. Suggested. Look, since I'm sure you have better things to do than follow me around, what if you agree to meet later at the tavern? Oh, I believe that could. Atticus is going to be there. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Iron Bear. Wait, I believe that could be arranged. Thank you, Iron Bear. Truly. Good day, Miss Reed. My kingdom for some respite from all this. Must have came back looking horrible. Sorry. Hello again. Ask about the courtesan killer. You keep up with the news, sorry. I don't suggest you recall any strange visitors last month. It's about that girl. Hannah, was it? One who turned up dead last month? You remember her? Of course I do, the poor dear. She was staying with us in one of the less fancy rooms for a spell. I believe she was killed at the hotel itself. What, really? Saints, that's a chilling thought. Apparently some residents heard quite a scream at the night of the murder. I suggest it's possible. That poor dear, I had no idea. Did she have any visitors the night of the murder? Her specifically? I'm afraid not. Plenty of people in and out that night though. Damn. What happened to her personal effects after the crime? The Bobbies took most of it after the fact, sell for a few bits and bobs. Sorry produced a worn hairbrush with a carved ivory handle from a drawer set within the receptionist's desk. Ooh. This was here. It might be a titch morbid, but I've been using it myself, truth be told. It's yours if you like, if you need it for evidence or some such. You were using a dead woman's hairbrush. Sorry shifts uncomfortably. Well, it's not like she was using it, was she? I couldn't let it go to waste. You ought to be ashamed of you. Oh, I would rather do that. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Sorry blushes high and fierce. Oh, like you're any better. Better to change the subject, though I'm glad the brush is in my possession now. If I have any further questions, I'll be back. Of course, Miss Reed. I'll be here. Body of velvet rose. We have a lot of stuff cut off of her. Oh, we need to go to the wharf and tell him. I wonder if did she? I wonder if that's because we told. Interesting. Hannah's hairbrush. Anything in the sofa? Maybe a few books? Nope. Did they take everything from us? No. Go to Sorry Square. Hmm. Poor Ariana. I am curious. I wonder if it's because we told her think about everything. I don't know if I want to go to the guy on the wharf or not. Is the priest still? Yep. Mr. Eli, please slow down. Greetings once more. I'm afraid not. Good day to you. Oh, Velvet Rose. Oh, Atticus has the instead map. There we go. Travel. Beggars. No new info. We've done just about all of the quests. Oh wait, let's go see her body first before anything. I hate that that's still up. Like she's not dead. There's no one else here. I did this update for her. Nope. This. She's optimistic, protective spirit. That's fine. Lefty. Did she know that? Clara, good to see you again. Naturally, you've heard about the murder and the rose. Chills the blood just to think of it. For just a moment, I can see the tiniest crack in Lefty's cool facade. Ouch! Yay. It's enough to give her lasting nightmares if she's vulnerable to that sort of thing. You have no idea who's responsible, do you? Nay. The only thing I can for certain is he's a barmy bastard. That's enough about that. Say goodbye. I'm glad I can run into you, Left, to take care of yourself. That's one thing you can always count on, lass. Bye now. Clementine, do you know anything? Miss Reed, why the long face? Believe it or not, Clem, I'm here to inspect the body. Is she not going to confront us about what Atticus said? You're here to inspect the body? Were you secretly a police specialist this whole time? Then far from it, I assure you. No point in explaining to Clem how I ended up in this mess, especially when I'm unsure of the finer details myself. Listen, you know I care for other girls here, and I know you do too. It's terrible what happened last night, right here under our own noses. If only I could. She cuts off, shaking her head. There's nothing I can do, I know that. Plain as day, but you, Clara, might just have a chance. You think so? I do. You're whip smart. You care about the girls too. Don't try to deny it. There's no one else I'd rather have on the case. Well, thank you for the vote of confidence. That's what I'm here for. Now you best get upstairs. Nothing to be learned hanging around here, right? Right you are, Clem. Maybe I have more of a chance to track down the killer than I thought. At the very least, it's good to know Clem supports my efforts. Anyone here? Is this it could be. It's a new newspaper. Front page. There is a half-thrown reproduction of a letter penned to the cramped and messy script. My salutations and regards. I've had such a good time with these dollies thus far. The last one was quite full of piss and verve, but great fun all the same. I love what I do what I love. My love will flip London's on his head. The coppers and blue coats are up in arms about me. True, but the bobbies are tossers, and it hardly matters anyway. I'm a proper beast, and shall ever be caged. Things have been quite of late, but nothing lasts forever. Hold this letter back till print. Keep it from the blue coat's hands till then, and I shall come scratching at your door next. Humbly yours, the Canuck Cursor. How remarkably callous. How bleak to have one's life ripped literally to shreds, and your killers give a voice for their hideous act. Seems I've got my work cut out for me. Best get a move on. You can't keep that. It's fine. Go to the Velvet Rose. There we go. The plush carpet underfoot is now uncomfortably reminiscent of spilled blood. Is it your imagination that a sense of violent death haunts the air and is more cold in here than usual? You never give much credit to stories about spirits lingering near the site of their deaths. The victim was a friend who worked at the Rose alongside you. You wonder if she suffered. You wonder who could be responsible. Still yourself. The truth is but a few moments away. Oh, if we wouldn't have if we wouldn't have picked up her gun, Atticus could. It would probably still be here for her. But you at least deserve not to have that. This the one? Wait. Your vest. Good day, Miss Reed. Go ahead. I've cleared the room for you. The air in the room is stifling, of that silent sense of dread that you only find next to a corpse. Quite frankly, from a simple reading about the courtesan killer in the papers, quite different from simply reading about the courtesan killer in the papers. Every problem seems inconsequential until it is at your doorstep. Poor Arya. If I could find the monster that did this, perhaps her spirit can rest. Saints above, what would I tell Felipe? Would it be pertinent to look around the room or inspect the body first? The body... let's go to the body. Her lifeless and torn up body lies motoring on the brothel floor. By the saints, it's all the more hunting up close. Poor Ariana. What shall I do? Inspect the body. Oh. Intuition. Please. Yay. Perfect. There are many gaping puncture wounds and rips across the entire body. She's been thoroughly brutalized. It resembles an animal attack, vicious and beyond that which could have been necessary to simply kill her. Observe the room. Obviously not hard. Likely. Blood splatter. There's a splattering of blood across nearly the entire room, though it seems most concentrated on the bed in the area where the body now lies. The concentration of blood suggests she was attacked while on the bed and struggled with her attacker until finally collapsing on the floor. If she had already lost so much blood from the first attack on the bed, how did she have the endurance to fight much longer? We don't... Oh, that's not bad, actually. Just need a 3. 4 on the stomach. Did a 4. The torso of the deceased has been sliced open around the stomach and into the chest cavity. It's grim and gruesome work to sort through. Within the cavity of her flesh and bone, her organs form a disorderly chorus of reds, purples, and browns. I recognize a few, and yet others are curiously absent. Her heart is missing, wait, what? Her heart is missing, as is her liver. I think other organs might be missing besides. Nine. 20. Got the... As you comb through the viscera, it occurs to you that there are neither no bite marks upon the organs, or else all that is left of them is a slightly putrid smell of pierced or torn flesh. I wonder if this is the doctor. There are no half organs either, nothing ripped apart or partly devoured. If this was truly an animal attack, why were such organs devoured wholesale and others left completely alone? It's all far too clean. Puncture marks. That's fine. We've got more than I thought we would have got. The multitude of puncture wounds across her body seems to have one thing in common. They are, generally speaking, uniform, as if they were created by the same weapon. Whatever created them pressed in and out of the flesh cleanly, with purpose. The puncture wounds, the shape of inquiry, even the torn up corpse suggests that this was an attack carried out by a tooth and claw. There is something off about the nature of the bites, blasted all down the sticks and back. I can't put my finger on it. Nothing to be done. Pocket watch. This pocket watch looks rather familiar. Have I seen it before? The interior of the cover is engraved with a decorative image of bird in flight. There appears to be a significant scratch marring the image. Take it. I'll hold on to this and see if I can inquire after its owner. Maybe Aunt Selena over at the curio shop could enlighten me. Claw marks. The raking spacing of these clock marks seems oddly uniform. How does the old saying go? Symmetry is rarely found in nature. On the contrary, symmetry can be found in nature often. If memories of my college days serve me, a tweet saying, really. Next, blood sheet. The concentration of blood suggests that the struggle began on the bed and proceeded until she hadn't the energy to continue. Ridicule. Trouble. It's Ariel's reticule, bloody and torn to shreds. Handbag. We're leaving it there. No, this isn't mine to take. I should give back to investigating. One of two places the killer could have entered the room, the other being the door, of course. I ran my finger along the wood grain near the hinges, feeling for any splittering. If the killer entered this way, it appears they didn't force the window open. I'm guessing this is in the room that the old girl went through? came up through? The reporter, or whatever she was. Yeah. And the watch. Pocket watch. Before we start, I thought I might let you know that the prevailing theory, now that you've had the opportunity to inspect the room for yourself, let's hear it. The authorities believe that this crime was not committed by self-possessed hands. Specifically, they are working under the assumption that the killing was committed by a lycanthrope. Given this, as well as the last killing's proximity to the full moon, and what do you believe? Suffice to say, there are many aspects of the case that do not make sense to me. Indeed, there are cracks in that conclusion. Least of all, that last night was not the full moon proper. Some werewolves have been known to lose their heads in the days preceding it, but it's far from a universal affliction. I will do my best to preserve my judgment, and for that matter, consider how much I am willing to share with my friend here. But sharing our findings will be mutually beneficial to us both, insofar as understanding this case goes. That being said, it's hard to trust this unknown man, let alone his shadowy backers. So, Miss Reed, you've seen the body. Anything you'd like to share? I'm not telling him about the watch. I don't want to. Move along and discuss the inspection of the crime scene. The whole scene was unusually gruesome, a horrific tableau. Her wounds speak of brutality. Share the details. The wounds on the body was more severe than if the killer were simply trying to end her life. If anything, they resemble an animal attack. I cannot say I disagree. Indeed, the other victims tied to this case share similar fates. It is part of the reason this case has received so much coverage by the press. The room was awash in blood, shared. There is a great deal of loss. While most of it was on the bed, the splatter also spread to the walls and floors. It would suggest she fought before succumbing to the blood loss. Surely someone heard her if that was the case. What else did you see? Organs. Tell them about the organs. Her heart and liver are missing. There may be additional organs missing as well, though I'm no physician. A similar situation occurred with the other victim. He struck his chin for a moment. Were there any further details you noticed? There was a little sign of ingestion of the share. There are no partial organs. Her heart and liver, at least, were missing wholesale. Every organ was either damaged nearly beyond recognition, though present, or left alone entirely. Were there an animal attack, one might expect some sign of feeding or partial consumption. You're quite right. If this was not an animal, the vest does not look shaken. His composure suggests that these thoughts had already crossed his mind. Well, anything else of note? Those are the details that struck me as particularly strange. I found a considerable amount of evidence which he did not. We need them on our good side. Leave it be. I hope that the information I found will prove useful. His mouth twitches for a moment as if he were anticipating the need to retort. Ah, yes. I expect it will be. I expect it will. Oh, she's 100%. I must say, Miss Reed, I'm impressed with your observational skills. You may have missed your calling as a private detective. Of all the many roles I have played throughout my life, police special is not one I ever considered. We've made good progress here, Miss Reed. Let me know if there's anything else. Certainly. One more thing. I generally refrain from dealing directly with them, but the dockhounds have eyes and ears all over London. Molly O'Malley may be privy to some details regarding the perpetrator's true identity and whereabouts. Molly O'Malley. Wonderful. By the by, Miss Reed, I would like to fill you in on what we know of the other victims. It's important you know what we're walking into. Alright, what should I know? What would you like to discuss first? The murder's not in the paper. Have you heard about any other killings of this type that were not reported on? As you know, this woman was not the first victim of this particularly modus operandi. He chose his phrasing carefully there. To answer your question, neither the crime scene nor the particulars of the victim are unique. They follow an obvious pattern, of course, that which popular consciousness is privy to, and other similarities besides. I knew these atrocities were particularly gruesome, but it would seem many particulars of these cases have been left out of public knowledge. There were similar incidents that, for one reason or another, have not been taken up by the press. Tragically, even accounting for them, there is little go off in terms of identifying a suspect. Little but not nothing. The edge of his lips curled for a moment, almost imperceptibly. Indeed, in fact, there is something I'd like to show you. He reaches into his inner breast pocket and produces a labeled medicine bottle. This was found on the body of a victim I believe to be related to the case. Gordon's Gray Patent Panacea for men guaranteed to cure impulsivity, baldness, aggressive personality, humor imbalance, afflictions of the blood. My, is there anything it doesn't cure? I've already been to Mr. Gray's shop in Sorry Square and spoken to him, but I found nothing of consequence. I did, however, have the suspicion that he may not have been entirely forthcoming. Perhaps you might succeed where I did not. I'll pay him a visit as soon as I have the chance. This tincture was taken from the body of a dotty mop by the name of Casey Loger. Not a name of the papers picked up on. It would seem not. He was found last month, only 2 days after Miss Hannah Lind was butchered on Cannock Street. His body was in much the same state of hers. Perhaps, as I thought, the story is a sensationalist wreck. Anything that does not fit cleanly with the story is either warped beyond recognition or else left out entirely to the retelling. Thank you for the lead. I'll see what I can turn up. I think we're at full. Yep, best of luck, Miss Reed. I'm sure you'll come up with something worthwhile. Who was the first killing? What would you pin as the first incident of this case? Can you tell me about the victim? The first reported victim was a washerwoman by the name of Rachel Nichols. I recall hearing of her death. The papers claim she was street walking when it occurred, though I never encountered her in any circles that I am privy to. Indeed, Miss Nichols had her issues with gin and was sleeping rough outside of some shops or public house the night of her death, surrounded by a tiny collection of Jonathan silver gin. The silver gin I received from Glenn Forrester. It must be a favorite of his as well. Though I found no indication she ever worked as a dolly, let alone on that evening in particular. Yet the papers reported as much. I can't say I'm surprised. Her body was found several months past, at the height of summer. I sense a but coming. However, I'm given to believe that there was an incident that predated even here. Gwen Saney, whose body washed up from the Thames some 2 months prior to Miss Nichols. Gwen Saney. It's doable. Nope. Ace of Wands. No, I fear the name is unfamiliar to me. She was a seamstress. Her body was dredged from the Thames, just as Casey Laguerre's was. Like him, she did not appear to be brutalized, though a selection of her organs had been removed. It is his place on the case that convinced me of Gwen's connection, tenuous though it may be. I would not say tenuous. I would say it certainly bears consideration. Perhaps so. There is an overwhelming amount of information to consider in this case. How do all these incidents connect? I need to be a weaver to thread this all into some sort of decent tapestry. It's a lot to take in. What can you tell me about Hannah's and last month's victim? Hannah Lind. You're familiar with her? She used to work for the Rolls. Myself and the other girls here remember her well enough. Says Ben. I'm sure they'll be helpful as we build our case. Indeed. Hannah Lind. Just as the others were, she's been badly brutalized. Her body was a mess, and several of her organs were not present during the viscera. Just the same as the senseless slaughter that occurred last night. Can you tell me what Hannah's time at the Viveros was like? I was not particularly close to Miss Lind, but I recall her employment here ending perhaps 2 years ago. Were the circumstances of the deceased departure amicable? They seem to be. As far as I'm aware, she relocated to the south bank of the Thames. It was Madame Zora who suggested a more local brothel. She moved as planned and was therefore employed with them. There are no hard feelings to speak of. I've heard much the same already, but thank you for sharing your perspective, Miss Reed. You mentioned these killings had the same modus operandi. Have there been a spate of other recent killings following a different pattern? There are always killings in London. There are different, yes, but murder is never entirely unique. He's being careful again. A simple raise of the eyebrows ought to convey my curiosity. The matter at hand is grim enough, without adding unnecessary details from unrelated cases, though I must address it if you like. See, no, best not to get distracted with unrelated cases. This case is more enough as is. Well said. Let's return to the matter at hand. Anything else I should know? I'm afraid that is all I know of the other victims. Thank you for the information. As you said, I think it best we follow up on the lease for the time being. Of course, Miss Reed. Best of luck. Visit Molly, investigate the apothecary, visit the shop, and we gotta go to put so much stuff. Where's Madame Zora actually? But do we want to see her? Cause she may ask us about Atticus' money being gone. Not here. Oh, that's a powder. Palladium.